Skarner was one of League of Legends' least popular junglers last season. Across all regions, he was picked a grand total of 4 times, with only 2 of those picks coming from major regions. But after the recent patch 8.3, Skarner's pick ban rate shot up to 80% across all major regions and is now at 100% for all 24 major region matches on 8.4. So what happened?
My stinger brings ugly death.
Well, Skarner did get a couple of buffs recently, but that's not the whole story. Really, his rise is a combination of buffs, runes, the current meta, and the power of agency. Skarner's historic lackluster comes down to a lack of agency. Agency is how much a champion's actions can influence a game based on decision-making and mechanics. So when a champion lacks agency, he lacks the capacity to impact various situations. Skarner feels weak because he fails to function as either a damage or tank threat, but it's his low mobility and low range that causes a big agency problem in professional play. Here, teams play with more coordination, and it's much less likely they'll leave an isolated target out for Skarner to find. Eventually, Skarner has no good way to contribute to the more common 5v5 teamfights. But some recent changes have been improving the way Skarner can impact games. Let's start with the buffs. 8.1 saw important changes to Skarner's E, Fracture. The stun duration went up from 1 to 1.5 seconds, and the proc damage was almost doubled at max rank. This meant Skarner could max E to turn into a better pre-6 ganker, especially since Fracture's slow increases with rank. Runes Reforged are also fixing Skarner's movement problems. His low range and mobility make him very flash dependent, so in patches 8.1 and 2, most Skarners ran Unsealed Spellbook for the 25% summoner cooldown reduction. This would also give him a lower smite cooldown for faster clear speeds. After the Spellbook nerfs on patch 8.3, most Skarner players in competitive swapped to Predator. Even though he won't have his flashes often, it gives him an active movement speed boost that helps his pre-6 ganks and late game pick potential. The meta itself is also giving Skarner a little boost. Before he showed up, the jungle was dominated by Jarvan and Sejuani picks with Zac and Kha'Zix as fallbacks. They're all choices with slower early games. Meanwhile, over in Skarner world, the mana regeneration and attack speed from his spires let him clear camps and spam abilities without worrying about his mana. Skarner can clear his jungle, excluding Krugs, by 250 into the game. In a recent clutch vs TSM game, Sejuani has only cleared 4 camps by this time. In other words, Skarner gets a tempo advantage for clearing more than the current competition, and since catch-up XP got nerfed, farming early game is more valuable than pre-6 ganking. It's a perfect Skarner jungle meta. Even scarier than just this tempo is that when it puts Skarner's team ahead, the enemy faces a dilemma. The only way for most champs to remove his ult suppression is a Quicksilver Sash. But if you're behind, you either have to buy one and fall even further behind on damage, or skip it to keep up in damage, but risk being caught out by Skarner. Let's take another look at that clutch vs TSM game to see these benefits in action. Lyra gets a leash from his bot lane and clears 5 camps by 253, while Mike Young is still doing his 4th camp. He moves into the enemy Krugs and steals them away. Haunter spots him, prompting Mike Young to mirror and steal Krugs, but Clutch have defensive vision prepared and push him out. Lyra continues to clear and sweep vision, and at 630, he hits level 6. He's now a level and 11 CS ahead of Mike Young. At 640, Lyra chunks out Mithy as he goes to Ward River, and since Clutch has lane priority in mid and bot, they move to take the Infernal. TSM can't even contest this play because Mike Young is still topside, outpaced by the sheer clear speed of Skarner. TSM can't check the Dragon Pit and risk getting flash ulted, so Clutch continue to build the lead. So back to our question, what happened to Skarner? Direct buffs and better rune options helped his ganking and mobility. Slow competition and incentivized farming gave him the power to get leads. All of it together gives him more agency, and when a champion has way more opportunities to impact games, we see their pick ban rates explode.
For more league interviews and analysis, subscribe to our channel. You can also find stats, discussions, and more on our website and mobile app at blitzesports.com.